Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Bowling League's Spike Magazine Trophy. We are in week number 2, and tonight we've got a lot of Blood Bowl. 3 games back-to-back, a triple header this evening, and we're going to get started with the Vesuvian Lavabacks versus my favorite team, Berserker Tempest versus Electrics Man, Lizards versus Black Orcs. Let's take a look at the standings here in week 2 before we take a look at the 2 teams this evening. In Division A, we've got 2 Division A matchups tonight and 1 Division B matchup. Currently in first place are the Tizork Savage Boys, coached by Tizzle Bizzle. They're an Orc team. They are 1-1-0. Close behind is Festoon's Mammal Nightmare, a Necro team, also 1-1-0, behind by just 2 touchdowns. And in third place are the NC Snakes, coached by Moob. They're a Dark Elf team. They are 1-0-0 here in Division A. Over in Division B, that's where we are for this first game of our triple header this evening. In first place remains the Discomancers, coached by Ian. They are a Necro team, and they are 1-1-0. In second place, the Believe Broncos, coached by Chaos Cup champion BB Nut. They are in second place here with a Nurgle team. They're 1-0-0. And in third place, up tonight, is Berserker Tempest, Vesuvian Lavabacks. They're a Lizardman team looking for their second win here in week number 2 of the competition. And finally, over in Division C, currently in first place, wouldn't you know it, Spire's Philosopher's Song. They're a Lizardman team. They are undefeated here, leaving week number 2. They're 2-0-0. The Fishy Fiends, coached by Ajax, in second place. The Chaos Renegades team, they are 1-1-0. And in third place is Old Gamer Mike's Goodest Boys Strike Back, a Necro team. They are 1-1-0. Necro doing very, very well in this competition so far. The home team for this evening will be the Vesuvian Lavabacks. They have 11 players on their roster. Their TV is 1,340,000 gold. They're going to have the big guy in the Crocs, all 6 Saurus blockers, and a bunch of skinks. 2 chameleons, 2 skink runners, 1 apothecary, 2 cheerleaders. Let's go. 2 assistant coaches, 5 dedicated fans, and 2 rerolls. They're going to be up against my favorite team. They're a Black Orc team. They're coached by Electrics Man. Have 12 players on the roster, so they have 1 in the reserve box for this game. Their TV is 1 million gold. That's 340,000 gold in petty cash they're going to be getting tonight, and they're absolutely going to be spending that. They have a big guy as well, the Trained Troll. They have all 6 Black Orcs, and they have a bunch of Goblins to round out this roster. Just the 1 dedicated fan and 2 rerolls. How are these 2 teams going to play tonight? BB Nuts says, this is my division, right? I don't know. Let's see. Why, yes, it is. All right. The Vesuvian Lavabacks, right? They're the Lizard team. These 2 teams, on the face of it, look very similar, right? They each have a big guy. They each have 6 pieces that have a strength of 4. They each have a bunch of weaker, faster guys. I think on paper, the Lizard team is the favorite team in this matchup. And that is because these skink runners are so fast, right? Woo! I adjusted the audio on some stuff. I heard that. Bad dog praying to Neville. But the skink runners are very, very fast here with the MA8 on the skink runners, MA7 on the chameleon skinks, and the Saurus blockers here. Strength 4, a number of them have skills, right? 3 have the block skill, 2 have the guard skill. I think that gives the paper advantage to the Lizard team, but this is Blood Bowl we're talking about, right? One of the reasons why this game is so great is because the game is not won or lost on paper, right? You can take a team, maybe you're a lower tier team, you're up against a higher tier team, but you outplay your opponent, you get the win for the evening. Not to mention that there's a ton of petty cash going to that Black Orc team. So these Saurus blockers, lots of strength in the strength of 4, a number of players with the block skill, and a couple of guardsmen as well. This is very, very good for the Vesuvian Lavabacks. The Vesuvian Lavabacks can leverage those guardmen to try to get 3-die blocks on players. That will be a very important factor in this matchup. If you can get 3-die blocks with the block skill, he'll be removing players. He'll be knocking down players. He'll be getting them off the pitch. He'll have a very good time with that. The skink runners are the only ball carriers on the roster, however, and that's because everybody else has an agility of 5+. So with just 4 skinks on the roster and none in reserve, those are going to be the targets for the Black Orc team this evening. So Mr. Rocker says, I'm fairly certain the game was won or lost on cardboard. You're right. Excuse me. Seek says the volume difference between redeems and voice is jarringly offensive. Is it like crazy loud? Let me know. I'll adjust it as the games go on. I've been toying with it because I'm an idiot. But so you can see here on this team here, 4 Black Orcs, strength of 4 as well. They don't have the block skill. They do start with a couple of skills here. They start with grab. They start with brawler. Brawler is a poor man's block, right? So the brawler skill, crazy loud. All right, I'll adjust it. I'll adjust it a little bit right now. All right, I adjusted it a little bit. Let me know if it's better or worse, and or if it needs to get better or whatever. We'll adjust it. My apologies for blowing out your ears. But anyway, the Black Orcs here, strength of 4, look very, very similar to the Sauruses, right? They have better agility. They have a couple of skills. They have the brawler skill. It's like a poor man's block. On a both, if you roll a both down result in your die pool, you can re-roll that die, one of those dice, one of those both down results. You can use this in a number of ways. You can use, if both results are bad, then of course you could save the die pool by re-rolling one die, and you don't have to spend your team re-roll, hopefully, of course. Another way to use it is maybe you roll a 2-die block, 1 die is a push, and you get a both down result. You don't want the both down result. You're fishing for a knockdown. The push is safe. You keep that push, you re-roll the both down, you try to get that POW and knock down that player. That's good as well. Grab will be a very interesting skill in this matchup, right? Grab is basically like an inverse sidestep. So instead of the opponent sidestepping, you're sidestepping your opponent. And this could be a way to keep players tied up with these Black Orcs and in fact pull them out of the drive. So if, let's say the Black Orcs go on the line with some Sauruses. If Electric's Man's able to get some 2-die blocks, even if it's a 1-die block, if he can get a push on a player, he can grab them and say, actually, I'm putting you over here. The drive is going to the right, I'm putting you to the left. You're a Saurus, you're not dodging away from me, we're sticking together like glue. You're going nowhere. I've just removed, I've put you in the wrong spot. If he can do that, then he might be able to hunt for those skinks and try to remove them. Remember, only 4 skinks on that roster. They're the only real ball carriers on the roster. Unlike this team, these Black Orcs, Edge 4+ isn't great, but you know what? It's a whole lot better than Edge 5+. The Goblins, of course, will be the natural ball carriers on this roster. They're not as fast as those skinks. They're just as weak, just as frail. They do have dodge. They do have the right stuff. This could, in fact, be a 1-turn touchdown possibility for Electric's Man, right? You have a bunch of Goblins on the roster. You have the Trained Troll who can throw the teammate. That's always an option. But really, I think hunting the skinks has to be the goal for this Black Orc team in this matchup. And doing that means finding a way to keep the opposing big guy and the opposing Sauruses out of that drive. And it's going to be a little tricky. I think block will help alleviate that trickiness a little bit. The problem, of course, that this team just doesn't have the block skills, so it could be a little tough. But he is getting 340,000 gold in petty cash. That could very well be a Varag Gulchur. It could be a Varag and a Bomber Dribble Snot. We could see a Ripper. We could see a Helmet Wolf and maybe not a Bribe, a Wizard. There's a number of options here for Electric's Man, and I think that's going to play into their strategy here tonight as well. Whatever they pick up in the inducement phase is really going to betray their strategy for the game. Berserker Tempest really needs to hone in on that in tonight's matchup. For example, if a Wizard is chosen, then Berserker Tempest knows he can't cage up, right? Or he can't do a tight 4-point cage because that is a fireball target. So that is going to be the way that Electric's Man is going to play with that fireball. He's going to say, I have the fireball, I'm spreading you out, and by spreading you out, I'm going to try to stop your running game. Otherwise, maybe he picks up a Ripper or somebody at high strength. He says, you know what? I'm actually going to pound you into the dirt. That's how I'm going to beat you. So we'll see how this plays out here in just a few minutes in the inducement phase. But 340 gold, that's a lot. Not quite Morg money. So the Lavabacks, of course, the favored team. So they're going to choose no inducements. 340K here for my favorite team. Mr. Rocker Cracker says, hugging skinks sounds awful. I'm not a big fan of scaly creatures. I don't like spiders. I really don't like spiders. I don't know if I would say I'm phobic. Like if I see a spider on the wall, I'll leave it there. But I don't like him. All right, so he's going to pick up Varag here. And Bomber. Yep, Varag and Bomber. I think that's a solid choice. Bomber, a secret weapon. So will only be on the pitch for a single drive, but he is a bombardier. We've seen just how effective he is, especially at the price point. He commands only a 50 gold salary, or 50,000 gold salary. He really should. He needs a new agent. He should ask for more money. Here's the coin toss. My favorite team won the coin toss, and they're going to be on offense to start this game. Clear skies for this evening. Game 1 of 3 tonight. We're in Division B. Our final 2 games will be in Division A. We got halflings to end the evening, in fact. The appropriate response is to burn down the wall with the spider or the skink on it. Yeah, I don't. It's fine. So long as they're not, like, on me, it's fine. Oh, I'm sorry. My favorite team chose to be on defense to start, so they're gonna screen out this lizard team, and I think that's a wise decision because these skinks are very fast. Standard skinks are MA8, chameleon skinks are at MA7. Chameleon skinks also have on the ball. On the ball is going to give them a free 3 points of movement on a kick or a pass. I need to hide my bias better. What am I biased against? Spiders? Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Let me know if that audio is better. It sounds better to me. Bad Dog rooting for the Black Orc defense. 6 on the line for the offense. Still a bit loud? All right, I'll turn it down. Turn it down some more. All right. We've dropped it a few more decibels. We'll see on the next alert if that's good or if we need to dial it in a little more. Again, I apologize. I appreciate your help. All right, 6 on the line for the offense. Here's the kick. Bomber kicking right to the center. Weather's going to remain the same. It's going to be a touchback, so this ball's going to go to the hands of one of these skinks. BB9 asks, question for you. My Nurgle are in the end of the year playoffs. Could I park them after this season and play a new team and then bring Nurgle back for the end of the season thing? Yes, you could. Absolutely. Yep. In fact, if you qualify for 2, so you can only ever qualify for 1 team. If you qualify for 2 teams, you will play the one that you qualified the highest with. And if it's a draw, you get to choose. 2-die block on the line works out due to a block skill. That's against the nose tackle. Now the right tackle is going to get knocked down here. My favorite Black Orc is going to get knocked to the ground. Two-die block over on the left side of the defensive line here. This will work out as well. Breaks armor. Gets a stun. 10 plus for all these guys here, both the Black Orcs and the Sauruses. Mr. Rocker Cracker says, what makes that your favorite Black Orc over the other? Is it his eyes? No, he helped me out when I was having a rough time in life. So he's a very dear friend. It's my favorite Black Orc ever. Repositions the Crocs off the line to try to cover the left side here. Very tight offense. Well, I shouldn't say tight, but very shallow offense. Looks to be giving up the sideline or the wide zones to the defense. Might be a gambit to try to see if the defense will pull in on the sides. I doubt they will. What a bro, yeah. It was very nice. Gave me a place to stay. BB says, I've finished the season. The Nurgle team still needs more work, but thinking of doing something fun for the third tournament, even though I'd missed me borderline vomiting looking at the Nurgle. They are gross. But yes, you can absolutely do that. People do that all the time. Yep. And then if you don't qualify any higher with your Dungeon Bowl team, which you can't because you've already qualified in the highest spot, then you would play your Nurgle team. If you happen to win the Dungeon Bowl, then you would pick which team you want to use in the Blood Bowl. Turn one now for my favorite team, who very much look like Assassin's Creed Templars with that that logo. Failed pass, starting the turn with a bomb toss by Bomber Dribble Snot. Needed a 3+, rolled a 2+, debating whether or not to use the reroll. I don't think they want to. Bomber, of course, star player, is a loner. Targeting the ball carrier. It's going to be an interception attempt here. Interception would be on a 6. Oh, no. Oh, Bomber. Bomber. Wow, in one shot with the bomb, removed 2 skinks, including the ball carrier. Oh, I'm flabbergasted. Oh, man. Wow. Wow. Got the ball carrier and the skink just behind. 2 KOs here. And now, just like that, the Vesuvian Lavabacks are down to 2 skinks. These are the only 2 real ball carriers they have. They lost their 2 fastest skinks there to the bomb toss. My favorite bomb throw. 2-9 blitz over on the left side of the line here. They're going to get a push against the number 5 Cyrus blocker. Bomber, you got to ask for more money, buddy. Look at your pal. Look at Varag here. He's just standing there. And he's making, what, 5 times the amount of money you make? Come on. My favorite team on the bonus clock. They're going to advance my favorite Wrecking Ball, the number 6 Black Orc, over on the right side of the pitch, across the line of scrimmage. Keeping this formation intact, not getting sucked into over-committing here. But now, with only 2 skinks left, I think the commit might be worth it. Seek says, I think for Bomber, it's not about the money. He's in it for the game. He just loves the game. Smasher 225, welcome to the stream, says he takes a team-friendly dare. He has a discount for certain teams. Push on the line. There'll be another block coming up against my favorite Black Orc. And another push. You can't keep my favorite Black Orc down. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, I hear Varag's uncle is the union president. Bomber's uncle accidentally blew up Varag's uncle's house. Varag's uncle. Oh, he was a good guy. He was a champion. Stun here against my favorite. Oh, I'm sorry. Stun against your favorite goblin. Over in the left wide zone. 2-dive blocker on the line. This is not going to work out. Might just let this rock. Oh, I don't know if he's going to let this rock. To take the both down results. And that'll be a turnover. You get stun out of that. You got a stun on the trade. Wow. Got something out of it at least. Turn 2 now for my favorite team. Hey, Jackson Riot, welcome to the stream. Coming up after this game this evening, we have game number 2. It's going to be the Wasabazons versus the NC Snakes, Warhorsemen versus Moob. That's Amazons versus Dark Elves. That's a Division A matchup. And we're going to finish up the night After that game, with the Dream and Wish Foundation versus Conspicuous Disunion, League Champion Nick Satan versus Chime. That's Halflings versus Necro. Those are all up this evening. My favorite troll fails the really stupid roll, so they're going to hang tight. They've lost their tackle zones. They've lost their action. Probably will end the turn with a bomber bomb toss here. So now with those two skink runners removed, I think we might start to see some pressure applied to the chameleons. Boot Polish says, I played an AI lizard team in Eternal League. I had 0 tackle. The AI had 1 crocs, and all skinks I lost 3-1. Ah, so it goes. Two-die block over on the right side here. Gets a POW. So this grab skill, this is sidestep for the blocker, right? So normally he would have had to push him here, here, or here. But instead, he can sidestep him, so to speak. He can grab him. He can pick him up and put him here instead. So trying to pick off one of the Sauruses. And now we're starting to see a little bit of pressure applied to these skinks. The mark, a little bit scary, but he still has a secondary intact, and that's because these skinks are not marked by anybody that has tackles, so these skinks can dodge away on a 3+ to a positive dodge with a free reroll due to the dodge skill. Here's the bomber pass. Pass is gonna work out. Oh, the Crocs got it! Did the what? The Crocs intercepted the ball! Oh, 100+ pass. Did you see that? What? You know what? You know what? I respect it. I respect it. The Crocs caught the ball to show off. It's like, I can catch too. I can't throw, but I can catch. And the game interprets that as a 100+ pass. Oh, that's awesome. 100+. There's the marks on the skinks. It's still a lot safer than the rush. Oh, sorry. I lost track. I just saw the 100+ and it. I lost my mind. Yeah, of course he's gonna fail that boneheaded roll. Are you kidding? All right, needs to keep this ball safe for a little bit. Smasher says technically a 100+ would still succeed on a roll of 6. Yes, yes it would. Nat 6s always succeed. 2-9 block here gets a push. $100+. Oh man. Re-rolls this into a POW. Doesn't get an armor break. And now the Lavabacks down to 1 re-roll for the half. 43 seconds to go here in turn number 3. Mr. Rocker Crocker says Nat 1s always fail, except for that one specific instance where they don't. What instance do they not fail? Yeah, so there's the dodge by the chameleon skink. Not having a secondary here was that risk that I was alluding to before I started laughing hysterically. Because they can dodge out effectively for free. Had to pick up this ball, moves it down pitch, 2 rushes to get the opposing 8-yard line. Turn 3 now for my favorite team. They're a little behind the ball here. This was the risk of going in just taking the marks and not having anybody in the secondary. Oh, good call. Good call. Boot Polish says, who'd have thought I'd learn Blood Bowl rules in this stream? I figured I'd learn about food, flight sims, or coding. Honestly, it's a little offensive to be talking about Blood Bowl on a Blood Bowl stream. Ridiculous, even. Speaking of not Blood Bowl, I am super stoked for the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Mortal Kombat is my favorite fighting game that I have no idea how to play. I've never figured out Mortal Kombat in my life. Or maybe Mortal Kombat 1 through 4 I'm comfortable with. But later the 3D Mortal Kombats and then later like Mortal Kombat 9 and on, I have no idea how to play them. I find having a block button to be obnoxious. Like I just can't, my brain doesn't click with a block button. The chip damage is super high, and I don't understand the frame data. So if you're unfamiliar with fighting games, just there's often we'll talk about things called frame data. Just think of it, it's frames of animation, right? So if you throw a punch, if you imagine yourself being recorded on video throwing a punch, you'll have sort of a wind up, and then you'll have some like a moment of time where your fists like can actually connect and hurt somebody, and then you have a moment of time where you recoil, you bring your fist back and you reset. So the startup time and the recovery time, those don't hit in a fighting game, and the active time where you can actually hit, that's what you're looking to do. So you'll often hear like something is plus on block or minus on block, meaning if I hit you and you block it, if it's plus on block, I recover sooner than you recover from your block, which means it's safe. In other words, if I hit you and you block, you don't have time to hit me back. I can do it and not have to worry about you retaliating. So normally you'll see this data like in Street Fighter, right? Something might be +3 on block, maybe +7, right? In Mortal Kombat, the frame data in the game is like, they'll say like, oh, this is -47. And I'm like, that can't be true. Like, what are you talking about? I do not understand Mortal Kombat, but I still love it. I still love it. I think it's great. Turn 3 for my favorite team. Oh no. Oh no. Don't eat him. Oh God. Tried to throw my favorite fouler to get to the ball. That really hungry nega trait there. So when they try to throw a teammate, they roll 2d6. They roll a d6, and if it's a 1, they roll it again. And if it's another 1, they actually eat the goblin. But that goblin's gonna blitz, get a dodge push against the number 15 chameleon skink here. Have to follow up and keep the skink mark. That skink is a 3+ to dodge away right now with a free reroll. One die block way over on the right side of the pitch here. Gets a knockdown. SP Beaver says Blood Bowl is basically 11v11 Mortal Kombat. Boopala says, you sound like me when I get tasked out with infantry. I don't understand them, but it's always fun. 3 die blitz against my favorite fouler. It's going to stay on his feet here on the push. One rush would score right now. I don't think the Lavabacks are going to score this turn, but we'll see. I think they're going to park this ball in the 24. There they go. Parking the ball at the 24-yard line. Can still be marked by my favorite Fowler. We'll see where the number 16 Chameleon Skink here ends up, though. Could move back to protect the ball carrier. Could try to pin the Goblin on the sideline. Yeah, so the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is from a company called Digital Eclipse. They always make these. They've made these collections that are like. It's gonna sound like I'm overselling this, but it's almost like a little digital library. Like they take the time to put the games in there and make sure that they're represented accurately, and there's extra information, and there's often videos and interviews, and they really do a really good job with it. There was a collection of Mortal Kombat 1 through 3 a few years ago that was absolutely miserable. It was terrible. So it'll be very cool to have a collection. So it's gonna have Mortal Kombat. I assume the arcade versions of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, and 4. But they mentioned other versions, so I think it's gonna have the arcade and console versions, and it also has the portable versions, which are terrible games, but I still very much appreciate them putting it in there. I hope they add Mortal Kombat Trilogy and Mortal Kombat Gold, but we'll see. I think it comes out in September. Final turn of the first quarter here for my favorite team. They're down to one reroll for the half. Vesuvian Lavabacks have no rerolls remaining. They are just outside the end zone of the Black Orc team. Two-die block against number 16 Bus Shelter Baker. That's the number 9 Saris blocker. Gets a push here. Varag Ghoul Chewer on the block. So Varag has MA6, Strength 5 is amazing. Edge is great as well. He has Jump Up, so he doesn't lose the 3 MA on standing up. He has Mighty Blow. He has Block. He's even a little thick-headed. Very, very solid piece. Two-die block here against the number 6 Saris blocker. So my favorite team at this point, they're going to want to start trying to force this score. The Chameleons got behind them. They applied... So the pressure they applied was just to mark those skinks. They didn't go in on the blitz. And they didn't set up more than one person on the mark of either skink. Those skinks got away from them. They had nobody in the secondary. Fair enough. You've given up the touchdown. Time to reset. At this point, they need to be thinking about forcing that score. Of course, that means Bomber Dribblesnot is going to be removed from the pitch. But if they can force that score around this time, they'll have a whole quarter to get on the board. And then they'll be on offense to start the second half, and they might just win this game 2-1. Bomber Dribblestot is also something that the Vesuvian Lavabacks have to be mindful of. If they are going to stall this, and they don't have a plan for blocking down Bomber Dribblestot, they're just going to eat bombs for another quarter. One die block back at the line of scrimmage here. Re-rolls that. Trying to not get the both down, but re-roll into a both down. And both players get knocked down. Nothing comes out of it. Turn 6. Chicken 23 with the raid. Thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Welcome, Raiders, to the stream. This is game 1 of 3 we have tonight here in the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League. Appreciate the raid. Thank you very, very much. Second quarter begins here in turn number 5. The Lavabacks threatening to score, but it looks like they're going to try to stall this out. They did knock down Bomber Dribblestot. So they won't have to worry about that bomb toss next turn. And now they're going to blitz my favorite Fowler. They're going to get a dodge push out of this. So now they have to get a little... They have to be... Oh, boy. Yeah, got to keep this ball safe for one... Wow, he really just glided across the pitch there. We'll keep this ball safe for at least one more turn, but has to be a little worried about these goblins that are starting to threaten a blitz on the ball carrier, unless some more lizard players come back to try to protect the ball carrier. SP Beaver says, "Oh, there's 3 tonight. The power better turn back on, so my tablet won't last that long." Sorry, your power's out. I hate it when the power goes out. I hate it. Armor break back behind the line of scrimmage. Got the removal. We'll see if that sticks for the next drive. So one-man player advantage for the Black Orcs. Hey there, Chicken23. Again, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. And again, welcome to the stream, Raiders. Turn 5 for my favorite team. So my favorite team needs to start thinking about trying to force this ball into the end zone. Every turn, they're not a particularly fast team, so every turn they lose makes it that much less likely that they're gonna score. They're not an elf team, right? An elf team needs 2 turns, maybe 1 turn to get into the end zone. Now the Black Orc team, of course, does have the troll. They do have goblins. They could 1-turn it with a throw teammate. Chicken23 asks, "I'm not usually up this late in the UK. You streaming a well-known league in the US?" I don't know about well-known, but I am streaming the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League, and it is in the US. We've been around. This is our 5th year. Yeah. We do have some UK players. We have BB Nut. I know BB Nut's from the UK. We have a few other UK players. Yep, there's the link to our Discord. You can come hang out. It's true. BB Nut is in every league. BB Nut is Blood Bowl. Dude, I blocked back at the line of scrimmage. Double skulls here. Is a reroll going to be spent, or are they just going to let this rock? They're going to spend the reroll into double pushes. So my favorite team has no rerolls remaining for the half. He's contractually obligated to play in every single one. Two-die block on the left side of the line here. This is going to be a both down result unless Brawler gives you something. Yeah, there it is. Brawler gives the pal. So looking for a 10 plus on this knockdown here. Doesn't get anything out of it. Back on the bonus clock. My favorite team down to 2 minutes, 7 seconds on the bonus clock. Good 3+ dodge by Bomber Dribble Snot to get free here for a turn. Bomber is going to be the target of a... Ooh! What a removal. That is another skink removed. 1 skink remaining on the pitch. Great foul here by my favorite team. Tark79, welcome to the stream. Tark says, rerolls are for losers. No reroll is proper Blood Bowl. Turn 6 for the Lavabacks now. They might start thinking about punching this ball into the end zone. Not so trusty patches, welcome to the stream. Says, oh, hey, it's my favorite team. It's my favorite team. Two-die blitz to get things started here. Gonna get the knockdown. Gets nothing out of it. There's the score. Yeah, didn't have anybody left to protect this ball. Vesuvian Lavabacks are going to be up 1-0. They're going to hope they get back those 2 KO'd skinks. Hey, we've got cheerleaders. Let's go. Boot Polish says normally it would be bad to have one skink, but that Crocs is 100% ball handling this game. That's true. It looks like they got back both those skinks. Berserker Tempest can breathe a sigh of relief here as the team will not be skinkless. Bomber Dribble Snot called off the pitch. And the refs having none of the arguing from Electric Span. Says, come on. Come on. He was throwing bombs, man. He's got a whole bag of bombs. That's not... Look, that's not legal. Sorry. Vesuvian Lavabacks. What? On... Oh, they have no bench. That's right. 8 on the pitch for the Lavabacks versus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, they're going to have 11. Right? They've got this guy. Ajax the Right says, cheerleaders? Ain't no way someone would take coaches instead. Got a couple of coaches right there. All right. My favorite team. Currently setting up with 6 on the line. They have 2 back to receive. It's my favorite Goblin and my favorite ball carrier. And here comes my favorite bench warmer coming onto the pitch. Not used to playing the game. Not so trusty Patches rooting for the Lizards. Thank you very much for the bits. Ajax the Right says, I heard your comments the other day. What comments were those? So all 4 Goblins pretty deep on this offensive formation. Oh, he's got a 5th one. He's up in the halfback position. So having the speediest players all the way back here is not going to help to score a touchdown. 5, 10, 11. My favorite Goblin, my favorite bench warmer coming off the pitch. Back on the bonus clock once more. Finally finished with the setup. You can see Varag, the left tackle on the line. 5 on the line for the Black Orcs. Cheering fans, a prayer to Nuffle. Praise his name. We've got trapdoors on the pitch. So the trapdoors, I think, are here, right? On the 18? I don't remember. I think it's on the 18. I don't know why the game's not... Oh, there it is. It's on the 14. So the trapdoor is here. These are basically, if you end your turn on these trapdoors, you roll a d6 on a 1, it's as if you were surfed. I have never, ever seen the trapdoors have any effect on the game, ever. I could see them possibly having an effect on the game if they come out early in the half. Not so trusty Patches says, I've never actually seen the trapdoor work before. I've never seen it triggered before. Stun on the first block of the drive. Block number 2 will be a POW against the number 4 Saurus blocker. Looking for a 10+. And now a 2-die block against Varag not against Varag, against the Crocs by Varag. Could have had both standing results. Going to take the push here. Trying to push this Crocs out of the drive. Got a long way to go to get into the end zone here. The fastest players on the Black Orc team are these Goblins with just an MA of 6. MA is what I would consider normal or standard movement. 3+ pickup attempt. Does not work out. That's a turnover. Vesuvian Lavabacks, turn 7. Wait. They didn't get back all their KOs. They only got back 1. Boot Polish says there needs to be more trapdoors. 3d6 and add that many randomly to the field. How would you determine where they go randomly? Like, you'd have to roll like a D17, like a D20 versus, and maybe 2 D20s, I guess. Gets the knockdown on Varag. Minute 9 to go here in turn 7. Lavabacks with no rerolls remaining. They have just the one skink on the pitch. I think that skink is going to remain in the secondary, maybe even with a Saurus or two, just trying to stop the score while the others try to play some defense here. It's going to be tricky to play defense. I think we're going to see the Black Orc team actually try to mark down these Sauruses and then go for the touchdown. 2-die blitz against your favorite Goblin. Gets a POW to this, looking for the 8+, got the armor break, gets a stun. Your favorite Goblin. Oh, failed the rush. Look, I understand. It seems like the rush should work. But if you know how probability works, you know that failing on a 1 in 6 on a rush fails 900% of the time. 900% of the time, ask any math teacher. Failed the rush to try to mark the ball. Turn 7 now for my favorite team. They've got to move. I don't even know if they can get into the end zone. 1, 2, 3, 6. They can just barely do it, but they're going to have to keep the Goblin safe unless they're going to go for the Goblin toss. So went for the ball pickup first before moving this player here. Probably should have moved the free player first. 3+ pickup works out. SB Beaver with the emergency rush warning. Thank you very much for the bits. So hands off to my favorite, my favorite Fowler. Which I don't think he can get there, right? Yeah, he can just barely get there in 2 rushes, but I don't. Boy. Oh. Ajax says, need to throw the teammate. Blue Polish says, I hereby solemnly swear to attempt to trigger at least 1 trap this season, either with mine or my opponent's players. Ajax Orion says, come on, Electric Man, throw that combo. The troll is free. So you can see Electric Man really debating what to do here, whether to just move that Goblin down pitch and try to keep it safe for a turn and roll a total of 4 rushes. Oh, gonna move the Goblin back, or the troll back on the toss. Throws the Goblin. Oh, the troll, my favorite troll. No, that's not what you're supposed to do, buddy. So the troll was instructed by Electric Man. Electric Man on the sideline saying, come on, you gotta throw your teammate. Let's go. The troll said, me throw good. Chucked him clear off the pitch. Turn 8 now for the Lavabacks. Oppo stabs us. Welcome to the stream. Says whoopsie daisy. Oopsie poopsie. Ooh, pardon me. I made an oopsie. Oh, it happens, you know. Sometimes you're in a professional Blood Bowl game and you take your teammate and you launch him like a mortar shell into the stands. You know what happens. Lavabacks are going to move their 1 remaining skink back to safety. So the Lavabacks are going to be in the lead going into the second half of this game. It's a 1-0 ball game in the second half. My favorite team will be on offense, so they'll have an opportunity to score, but now they have to start thinking about whether they're going to try to win or try to draw. It's all going to come down to what happens with these skinks. They're going to look for some permanent removals from these skinks, and if they get those removals early enough, they might try to win this game. That's why you always stay on the good side of your troll ogre tree teammates. That's right. That's right. You don't forget their birthdays. You ask them if they're doing okay if they look down. Sometimes you get their lunch for them. You got to do that, because otherwise they're going to throw you into the parking lot. Minute 10 to go here in the half. Boopaw says, I hope the halflings are taking notes for our game. That's right. Signos Loop, welcome to the stream. Sometimes you are their lunch. That's just part of friendship. Double pals here against the number 5 Cyrus blocker. Really looking for a 10 plus. Got nothing out of the block. Gets another pal here on the right side, looking for some SPP. Gets nothing out of this block. 18 seconds to go for my favorite team. They're probably not going to dip into their bonus clock here with just 1 minute, 39 seconds to go. Can't really get anything out of that time that'll effectuate the ball game in any way. Spire asks, how did the Pipstars Odin game turn out? The Pipstars won 2-1. Yep. With the line, so they are going into the bonus clock now. They're down to just 90 seconds on the bonus clock for the game. Got a KO, but the trade did not work out there. So not only dipped into the bonus time, lost a player. We'll see if they'll come back here to start the second half of this game. 1-0 the score. Vesuvian Lavabacks get back just one more skink. Just one more. So the Lavabacks to reset up on defense here. They'll have a total of 9 on the pitch and just 2 skinks. 1 chameleon and 1 skink lineman. Oh, they've got 10. 4. What's going on? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 9. Can I count? Can I do numbers? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. They've got 9 on the pitch. So it'll be 9v11 on the pitch. 2-man player advantage for the Black Orc team. Counting is hard. Oppo Stabso says, it might not be the right time to say it, but I pulled off my first successful throw teammate today. Old World Alliance versus Black Orc. Ogre tossed a halfling in front of a goblin and that was about to score. I didn't actually stop the score, but I did get the throw. That's awesome. It's always fun when you successfully throw a teammate. It's always hype. It never fails. 5 on the line for the defense. They're giving up those wide zones. They do have the speed advantage in those 2 safeties. The 2 skinks here. The skink runner, of course, with the MA of 8, and the chameleon skink with an MA of 7. But these are the, remember, always keep in mind against a lizard team, these are the only 2 real ball carriers. Everybody else is an edge 5+. They don't dodge. They don't carry the ball. If these skinks go away, the lizards really have lost their ability to move the ball. If you can't move the ball, you can't score touchdowns. 7 on the line for the offense. 2 goblins back to receive the kick. No kicker for the defense, so the ball's going to scatter up to 6 spaces. It's a very shallow kick. We have an officious ref. It's going to be a touchback. We'll see where the ball ends up. Probably back here on the 18. So the officious ref really doesn't like my favorite name to say. Nope, keeps the ball in the hands of your favorite goblin. This is the number 11 lineman here, the rookie goblin on the 4-yard line. Two-die block by Varag himself gets the knockdown against the number 7 level 2 Saurus. This is the Saurus with the guard skill. Guard means, so typically when you block, right, if you have a player who's adjacent to the piece you're blocking and is not marked themselves by an opponent, they will add a +1 to your strength for the block. Guard means even if they are marked, if the guardsman's marked, he's still assisting you. Guard's a very, very good skill. One die over on the right side here gets the POW. So move the rear goblins forward, sets up a tight cage here on the 4. Double POWs on the left side. Very tough to break armor against the pieces on these teams that are not skinks or goblins. AV 10 plus is hard to crack. If you're new to the game of Blood Bowl, we talk about this time and time again, but maybe not new to the game of Blood Bowl, but maybe new to tabletop gaming in general. To break armor, this is that armor value, this AV value. That means to break this player's armor, you need to roll a 10 or higher as the sum of 2 dice, 2d6, 2 6-sided dice. So if you think about dice, right, and you think, let's say to break armor, I need a 7 or higher. Okay. Then let's say I need an 8 or higher. It's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking that's a linear progression, right? To say, well, 8 is just 1 more than 7. But if you think about all the different ways you can roll these numbers, there are more ways to roll 7 than there are to roll 8 or 6, right? There's more ways to roll 11 than there is to roll 12, right? There's one way to roll 12. You need 2 6s. There are 2 ways to roll 11, right? You can roll a 5 and a 6 or a 6 and a 5. And so what that means is these numbers aren't linear. It's more, think of it more like a bell curve, right? So going from 7 plus or 8 plus to 7 plus or 8 plus to 9 plus or 9 plus to 10 plus is huge. And the difference gets less and less the further away from 7 you get. But the numbers from a game design perspective obviously hover around that area. So when you think, oh, I've got AV9, he's got AV10, they're close enough. They're about the same. They are not the same. They are very much not the same. Oppo Stabs Us says, Black work with grab can be a menace. In that same game, I wound up having several of my players surfed because grab put them in places I didn't expect them to have to go. Yep. We talked about that in the pregame a little bit this evening. I thought grab was going to play a big role in this game. It hasn't yet. Electrospan has a different plan. I mean, they've gone after the skinks and it's been very effective. Signer's Loop says there are more 7s in heaven and earth. 1 minute to go here in turn 9 for the Lavabacks. Here's the blitz on the left side. 2 die blitz gets a POW here. So we talked about those assists. There's that assist coming from number 5. Strength of 4. That's the strength value. So you see this strength value here. Strength of 4. This was a +1. And so you had 5. Whoops. You had 5 versus the strength 4 here of my favorite mistake. And that gives you the 2 die block. When you compare the strengths, if the strengths are even, you roll 1 dice. If one player, or if one side has more strength than the other, you roll 2 dice. And if one side has more than double the strength of the other, you roll 3 dice. Whoever has the higher strength chooses which of those dice will be the one that's in effect. So if you try to block somebody who has a higher strength from you, you're rolling 2 or maybe 3 dice, and your opponent is choosing which of those dice will be the one that's in effect. And obviously your opponent is not going to choose the die that's going to be beneficial to you. Turn 10 now for my favorite team. They're down to 1 reroll for the game. They have the ball in a tight cage on their own 4-yard line. This offense has been very tightly caged up here on the line. Varag, the left tackle. Remember, Varag has that Mighty Blow. Mighty Blow gives you a +1 to your armor or your injury roll, whichever you need it for. So if you break armor naturally, you can get a +1 on the injury roll. When you block players in Blood Bowl, there's generally 3 different tables behind the scenes that you're looking at. You break armor, and then you're rolling, well, not 3 tables, 3 die rolls, right? You're rolling to break armor. If you break armor, you're then going to roll on an injury table, and the injury table can result in a stun, a knockout, or a casualty. And if it's a casualty, you'll roll one more time on the casualty table, and that will tell you what the result. That's what, if you hear me refer to an injury, I'm usually talking about casualties. Thrown teammate here by my favorite troll. Fails to land on his feet here. We'll probably just let this rock. Through the ball carrier. He won't let it rock. And he re-rolls into a 6. Just roll 6s. That's all you gotta do. What is... Through the ball carrier. Right behind the Crocs. Playing peekaboo with the Crocs. Holy smokes. Why not? So now, this goblin is marked by a player with a prehensile tail. That was a 4+ dodge, but you know what? You know what? When you're rolling like that, what's it matter? The ball carrier breaks free all the way to the 18-yard line over the right wide zone all by himself. He's going to need to stay on his feet. 20 seconds left on the bonus clock. No rerolls left for my favorite team. 2-die blitz by Varag. Gets a push. The Crocs probably thought it was a bomb and ducked. So picked up the ball carrier, chucked him right behind the Crocs, dodged away from the Crocs' tail, and now the ball on the opposing 18-yard line is almost certainly going to eat at least a 2-die block. We'll see what happens here in turn 10 for the Lavabacks. They have 2 rerolls remaining. They're in the lead 1-0. Oppo stabs us, says, could the skinks bring down the Gobbo? Absolutely. Prehensile tail is a fake skill, never works. Prehensile tail, that's that green tail there. That means dodges are a +1. So this, with an edge here, a positive dodge would have been a 3+. Instead, it was a 4+. That's a 50-50 on a D6. And it worked out. Two marks on the ball carrier, so 2, 3, 4. This is a 2-die block. Unless another assist is coming in. Another assist can come in here from number 7. So he's going to make it a 2. Could have made it a 3, made it a 2. That's fine. 2-die block. That's not going to cut it. Unless he wants to take the trade. Not going to take the trade. He's just going to take the push instead. So the ball carrier is going to remain on their feet in scoring position. Was that dodge needed? No, that dodge was absolutely not needed. So could have came out here, and I think that would have been a rush. No, that wasn't a rush. So it could have, I was going to say swang. Could have swung out here and not had to dodge, but dodged anyway. And it worked out. Spires praying to Nuffle. Aren't we all? Move says the chameleon has diving tackle, yeah? Let's find out, shall we? That's what this is, right? Yeah, it does have diving tackle. Yep. Yep. Turn 11 for my favorite team. So dodging forward here, this is a 5+ in either one of these directions. So they're probably not going to do that. It's a 4+ here, but they only have an MA of 6. They're not that fast. So dodging out this way, ignoring the dodges. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a rush, right? Three plus, excuse me, you're right. They are roll dice with no rerolls. Roll dice with no rerolls into double skulls. Spire prayed to Nuffle. Did you? Did you? Turn 11 for the Vesuvian Lavabacks. They're going to get another opportunity to knock down this goblin ball carrier. First up, the blitz by the Crocs will be a both standing result. Tricky blitz to start with. Double skulls with rerolls. Oh, starting the turn with a blitz with the big guy. That's scary. Use the team reroll here with number 9. Gets a push out of this. The Lavabacks down to 1 reroll for the game. They are in the lead right now. They have 7 minutes 21 seconds on their bonus clock. The opposing team has just 8 seconds. Segner's Loop says, "Shh, I'm praying to Nuffle." Two-die block on the ball carrier. This is going to be a push. Another two-die block on the ball carrier coming up. Blitzes was spent right at the beginning of the turn with that big guy. The reason it's risky to start your turn with the big guys typically are loners. That means if that die roll does not work, got the POW here on the ball carrier. 8+ breaks armor. We'll see where the ball bounces. No armor breaks, so the Goblin's still in play. The ball's going to bounce one space to the left on the 12-yard line. The reason it's so risky to start your turn with a block by your big guys because they're loners. And loner says if you want a reroll. Oh, Eagle TSI, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for the sub. 15 months. Thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate it. Always great to have you. Great to have you in the league. Great to have you here hanging out with us. Thank you very, very much. But, yeah, so Loner says if you want to spend a reroll, you have to spend it first, then you roll a d6. On a 4+, you actually get to use it. Otherwise, you lose it. So, often, even if you want, if you need to use that reroll, sometimes you can't, and then it's a turnover, and you get no more activations for the turn. Turn 12 now for my favorite team. Coming up right after this game, we're going to have game 2 of the evening. There we go. I knew I had a schedule. Game 2 is going to be the Wasabazons versus the NC Snakes. War Horsemen versus Moob. That's going to be Amazons versus Dark Elves. That game starts just a couple of minutes from now. We'll pick up that game as this one ends. So we'll pick up that game in progress. That's going to be a fun one too. Dark Elves versus Amazons. I think it's going to be the first time we've seen Amazons since we started playing in Blood Bowl 3. Eagle TSI says, Segner's Loop, did you see there's a bug when you try to pass and are one space away, like from our game, it makes it a handoff? Dev's just posted about it. Wait. Why is that a bug? Oh, like if you want to do it for SPP or something? Oh. Are you saying, so like if I wanted to do a handoff to a pass or a pass and a handoff, let's say I did a handoff already, and I try to pass one space away, it wouldn't let me pass? Ball on the ground here in turn 12. Final turn of the third quarter coming up. Blitz to start with against your favorite Goblin. Gets the push here. Ball on the 12. A little bit of a scrum forming up here. Eagle TSI says, yep, because, I was trying to glory pass and I moved next to my players and it made it a handoff automatically. I see. That's obnoxious. That's obnoxious. I wonder how that happened. Oppo stabs us, says, man, only 4 people doing core and arena tonight. Not even going to bother to spin. I'm not sure I've done any of the new arena stuff. Actually, I am sure I haven't done any of the new arena stuff since it started. 40 seconds to go for the Lavabacks here. Again, they're in the lead. They have 1 reroll remaining. They've knocked the ball loose. They're trying to find a way to keep it safe. Really, they can start pulling players back onto the ball. Whoa! They dodge the chameleon all the way around here. I think they're going to try to pick this ball up and cage it up on the 6. Maybe not. The Crocs repositions, take a mark on the ball, so it looks like the Lavabacks might be Might be forming a scrum here. No, they're going to go for the ball pickup. Straight up 50-50 pickup to a 3+ dodge. Doesn't matter when you roll 6s all day long. So, all right. So they are going to move the ball down. Not to the 6, but to the 8. Turn 13 for my favorite team. Fourth quarter begins. Oppostabza says, I like Resurrection tournament style games more than ladder. So if people are unfamiliar, Resurrection, so our league is not a Resurrection style tournament. Resurrection means like you'll have a game and then, double skulls into a null turn for my favorite team. You'll have a game, let's say you get a bunch of injuries after your game is over. None of them stick, so you kind of reset your team. Festoon, welcome to the stream. Jumping in late. No, you're jumping in right on time. We're finishing up game 1 here. We've got game 2, which will be Amazons versus Dark Elves. And after that, we got game 3, which is going to be Halflings versus Necro for the evening. So 3 games here this evening. And now the ball carrier breaks free. The number 12 Skink Runner is going to move to the opposing 10-yard line. 3-die blitz against my favorite ball carrier. Gets the POW out of this. No armor break. And now is going to set up a protective unit around the ball carrier. And it's going to be very, very hard for these black orbs, I was going to say, black orcs, not only to catch the ball, or to catch the ball carrier, but really effectuate any sort of defense, as they don't have the speed advantage. They can't really get on the ball. Yeah, like we said, I think this is a tough matchup for this Black Orc team. And Eagle TSI says, it's so funny to hear you say my favorite team. Oppo stabs us. Demands death. Havoc. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Speaking of Mortal Kombat, Havoc is a character in Mortal Kombat. 34 seconds ago for the Lavabacks. No rerolls remaining. Their job here is just to keep this ball safe. They don't even need to stall if they don't want to. They will if they can, right? If you can stall, you don't want to give up touchdowns. Touchdowns count for ranking, right? Giving up touchdowns will lower your rank. But otherwise, if it's going to get a little dicey, they can punch that ball in, because once you're up 2-0 in the fourth quarter, you've probably won the game. Eagle TSI rooting for the offense. Now turn 14 for my favorite team. They've got to scramble. They got to pray to Nuffle at this point. Ajax the Riot with the sub. Thank you very, very much. I love how I announced it. Speedy Dab. Thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate it. Thanks for being part of the league. Thanks for hanging out. Great to have you. Your games are always a lot of fun to watch. Minute 20 left on the clock for my favorite team. But Stapsa says, I did not until just now notice that my favorite team was the actual name of the team. Yep. Electrics Man knew what he was doing. 3-die blitz on the ball carrier. Gets the knockdown with the star player, Varag Ghoul-Chewer. Wasn't able to break armor, but spent the once per game to get the armor break. KO, very well done. Oh, no, he got the mighty blow there to get the knockout. Oh, man. Varag going in big. Might be taking one for the team here on an upcoming turn. But remove that skink. And now the lizard team only has one skink left on the pitch, I believe. One purple, that's all I see. Oh, right, yeah. Rushes to take a mark on number 5. So not a whole lot of time left on the clock here. They were able to knock the ball out of the hands of the Lizards. But the Lizards have a free ball pickup here. Free ball pickup to 2 rushes would score. Pickup doesn't work out. Went straight for the pickup to start off with. And that is a null turn. We talk about action order a lot. Boy, that was scary. That was risky. 3+ did not work out. And now turn 15 for my favorite team. If they want to score and draw this game, they need to start thinking about putting somebody in the scoring position. That might be your favorite Goblin. We'll see what they decide to do here. It's going to be difficult getting them the ball, but they have a very slim opportunity. Ajax the Right says, where's my favorite ball carrier? Why doesn't he have the ball? Well, good news. Your favorite Goblin's still on the pitch. Which Goblin is your favorite Goblin? Oh, this one right here. Number 11. 3-die blitz to get things started. Got the POW, number 15. 7+ breaks armor with Mighty Blow. Another armor break. Huge armor break. That is the last of the skinks. The final skink has been skunked. Everybody left on the pitch for the Lizard team is Edge 5+. Double skulls against number 9. No! Oh, they needed to get this ball in this turn. Oh, man. So they're not going to be able to get on the ball, on the board here. Turn 15 for the Lavabacks. They're going to win this one 1-0. 3-die blitz. They're going to get a dodge push against my favorite ball carrier. Well, no. The Black Orcs, I guess, could still score. They could hand off to... Oh, boy. They would hand off to, I guess, number 8. And then the troll would have to get in a position to throw. You can't injure a skink if you don't have any. Turn 16 for my favorite team. It's their final turn of the game. Can they get on the board? Varag has an edge of 3+, remember. Oh, I would have blitzed this guy. Oh, I'm so scared. We'll see what happens. So a blitz here, right? You could have, or I think a blitz with number 2. Blitz grab. Just move that Saurus out of the way. Blitz the Saurus from behind, gets the knockdown here, so that works out. Saving Varag for this ball pickup. Varag has that edge of 3+. MA6. He can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hand off. You have to block down number 7. The troll could move up, throw the goblin, and then pray to Nuffle. Oppo stabs us, says, is that a different goblin upfield? Yeah, there's my favorite Fowler here. Failed the pickup with Varag, so that's going to be a turnover. My favorite team's not going to get on the ball. Final turn coming up here. The Vesuvian Lavabacks are going to win this one 1-0. So what we're going to do... Hard-fought game. Well played by both coaches. A lot of fun to watch. So the Vesuvian Lavabacks are going to advance into first place in Division B, undefeated with a record of 2-0. Congratulations to Berserker Tempest. We're going to kick over to the second game this evening here. Give me just a second. We'll get it set up, and we're going to head on over to match number 2 this evening, which is Amazons versus Dark Elves.